right now to update you on what is going on around the world. There is a lot lining up, and of course, we've been talking about this the last week. But before I start, I just want to let you guys know that we have all of the websites and all of the sources that we used are going to be on marfooglenews.com. If they're not up already, they will be shortly, and you can just look for either the thumbnail of this video or the first link on the website. So again, we back up what we say. We have authoritative sources there. You can check my work if you would like on marfooglenews.com. So obviously a lot of people are watching China and Russia right now, and for good reason. A Russian aide just recently said that a Donbass escalation would be the beginning of the end. They are threatening to go to conflict with Ukraine. At the same time, Ukraine, as of, and this is an official quote here, as of 7 a.m. on April 8th, the Russian occupation troops violated the ceasefire in eastern Ukraine 5 times, including 4 attacks on Ukrainian positions and 1 shelling of a civilian infrastructure. Now, that itself is an act of conflict, and using conflict in the place of another. So that alone is enough to start something if it was any other pair of countries. On top of that, it seems, and we've actually had a couple people that work in lower government in Ukraine that have contacted us and basically said that this is really serious and that they're moving all of their requests up a lot faster. And then I said that 2 days ago. And then, of course, now we have official backing of that, basically saying that they are asking to be in NATO and as a member of NATO, and trying to quicken that process. They want to be a member of NATO because, of course, NATO would give them extra allies. Now, a lot of people don't know the situation with Ukraine. I've seen messages that I can see. I'm like, obviously, they're confusing things. People think that, Russia is a part of NATO. Russia is part of the UN. NATO is a group. It's the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and that has just a ton of European countries: Albania, Belgium, Bulgaria, Canada, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, France, Greece, Netherlands, Norway. Those are all in NATO. So again, there's countries that do not have nukes. NATO is there. NATO steps in as their nukes, right? If a country doesn't have nuke support, NATO also kind of steps in there as well. The UN, that's separate. So this is, again, they're trying to get fast-tracked into NATO because they feel like it is that important. Now, they have loaded up their borders. Russia has loaded up theirs. This is the most significant movement we've seen, since 2014. And actually, it is broken the records. There was nothing like this in 2014. This is just the biggest since then between Russia and Ukraine. So it is a big deal, and I hope people, a lot of people are not even informed about the basics on this, which is, pretty crazy to me, considering I don't think people should be hit on the side of the head if something like this was to go big. And right now, with, of course, China dealing with Taiwan as one subject, and then Russia, their ally, on the other side doing this, it makes you think, if they were to do it, would they do it at the same time? And if they did it at the same time, what would that kind of thing trigger? We're talking about the entire world getting involved. Somebody said speculations, exactly. So at this point, we can only speculate what's going to happen. Of course, now they're putting out pieces. Washington Post just put out basically that Vladimir Putin is threatening conflict. His aide, of course, said the quote, Donbass escalation would be the beginning of the end for them. Now, some people will say, oh, they've said this kind of stuff before. Well, they've never matched these kind of rhetoric statements with actual movement. And on top of that, the U.S., which we've covered in the last couple shows over on our sister channel, Marfoogle TV, all of a sudden they did a super fast contract for 200 Arctic vehicles, which, of course, we've covered that they are now building up Russian forces, Russian ships, Russian submarines in the Arctic. And they're even trying to make a new passageway there, so a new strait, by blowing up the ice and making their own path, which means they might want to open up a pathway that they don't have to get permission for to go through. Again, a lot of the pathways and the straits that control all of our shipping are all controlled by different countries. Panama is mostly controlled by China, even though people think Panama controls it. Chinese are in charge of the actual runnings there. And then, of course, we have the Suez. We've had that problem. If that happened again, say if somebody did that on purpose again, and I'm saying in the future, if they actually did what happened and blocked that, that would mean 24 days to get around or Africa. So there's a lot of things going on all at once. I hope that everybody ends up sharing this out if you can. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. There will be a ton more in detail over on our sister channel, Marfoogle TV, where we're going to do a live show with calls and, of course, talk about all of this and more. There's also Too Hot for TV on our website, marfooglenews.com. Make sure to go there and check for all of the links that we have here. We have a bibliography for all of these things. So, again, thank you. If I forgot something, I will mention it on the show tonight. Just keep your head on a swivel. This is something that we just need to follow. It's not something that, you don't need to sell your house and go live in the woods. You just need to follow this because nobody should be hitting the side of the head, not seeing this coming. Again, be safe, be prepared, and Marf out.